Hey folks, welcome to Crazy Steve's RC. I'm Crazy Steve. I just wanted to mainly show you what type of project I'm working on. Hopefully next weekend we can get a little test run video out on this. But I want to go over that I don't have very many boat videos out. I think I only have maybe one. So I'm trying to get more of the aquatics up on the page. So this is going to be the start of it for this year. So I want to let you know what I've done to this boat, so everybody's up to speed on it for what I'm going to do after this. Okay, so first thing that we did was the motor is stock, the ESC is stock. We added an extra hose and a water port so we can separate the water from the ESC and to the motor, so we got separate lines that cool them. We also put a 440 prop on it. We also put a 440 prop on it to give it more speed. Out of the box, she goes about 32 to 35 miles an hour with stock prop. With this prop, the 440, it goes 40 to 42 miles an hour. Okay, we're up to speed of what all the upgrades I've done to it. Now I'm going to let you know what has happened to it. Okay, so this is a buddy boat of mine, so I do the repair. He ripped off this nose. I mean, literally ripped it off. He's lucky that he even got it to shore without it sinking. Okay, now after that, I gave him this goofy paint job just to tease him about it. That is going to change. That's part of the project. It's part of the paint job. The other project that we're going to do is that he somehow put a hole right here. So we're going to patch that up. I'm going to show you how I patch it up. We're going to give it a new paint job. We're also, these little dark spots that you see on here, those are spots that sunken in. We're going to level them out so it gets a smooth control ride up on top of the water. So right now, before I do anything, I need to sand this paint off. So we'll get back to you when I'm done. Okay folks, we're out here sanding the boat. I'm using almost forgot how to turn it off. But anyways, we're using an electric sander. I'm using 180 grit to get this off. We do not use really heavy paper. Don't use 80 grit. You will scratch your hull, and that's just a pain in the butt to fill for your paint job. But what we're going to do is we're going to sand this down to where it looks white. So, and then we'll be back when I show you when I get close. Some of this paint is harder to come off because of the type of sheen that it has and what material that it's made out of. Like this green, it's some kind of waterproof craft paint, and it's kind of a powdery, and it's super easy to sand, as you can tell. But the yellow and the red is much harder due to the fact is I do believe that was lacquer paint that I got. And so the lacquer is a lot more durable, and it's designed, it was designed for model kits. So it's designed to repel UV and water, and because of that it's a lot tougher to sand.
Hey, Crazy Steve, I got an idea. Why don't you just hold the sander there in one spot, like right here across this, and just chisel it off as you go. Just hold it like there and just take it right off.
You know, that's actually
like a grinder.
That's actually a really good question there. Just give you a little bit of my personal background, since folks out there don't know, I was a painter for over 20 years. And some of the things that I learned about doing paint jobs on all different kinds of material is this. The softer your material is, like for an example, this hull is plastic, okay? So when I put my sander on there and put it on there and hold it in one place, yes, it will eat that section up, but at the same time, it will heat up that plastic, it will warp it, and it's a good possibility that I can literally sand a hole right through my hole. And then because of that, now I got a new fix that I have to do. I put some marine epoxy on there, put some waterproof submergible tape underneath, fill it with epoxy, and then I have to sand it all down again just to make sure it is. Now, our hole right here, you can see this white here. There's, I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but it's starting to be like a little tan, which means I'm eating off that layer that they're putting it on. And that's another reason why you just don't want to hold it there. You want to constantly move it. If you don't end up getting all your paint off of your kit, it ain't no big deal. All you have to remember is to make sure that what paint that's on there, you rub your hand over it and it feels smooth like glass. And then if it's like that, you can put your paint over it and you wouldn't even tell that you even sanded anything. So the one spot deal is a good idea on getting a lot of that product off, but it's a bad thing because you can heat up your boat, warp it, or even eat a hole through your hole. That's the only reason why I don't always put it in one spot. Like right now, I'm kind of glad that you interrupted me, because when I felt that that was really hot, it was time to take a break to let that cool, or else it would start warping. Now this hull is designed where it starts off straight and then bows down. It's the design that it has because literally the center of the boat is not in the water. So like, these are rails, okay? So this is literally what sits on the top of the water, and it hydroplanes, okay? In here, absolutely no water. So this is bent down for air, what they call that, air aviation or something like that. Cuts down on drag.
Aerodynamics.
That's it. That's why this hull's shaped like that. So we need that hull to stay that shape. If it was flat, I'd probably do your opinion and just hold it in one place. So, but this is cool enough. I'm gonna, any more questions?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks,
Okay,
Steve.
well, I'm gonna start standing back on this. It looks like that I'm not gonna be able to get all this paint off because I did a really good paint job on it. So I'm just gonna focus on leveling it all out to where when I put a paint job over it, it doesn't look like there's a decal on there. All right. I got a line right here. I forget. See how it's turning brown now? That can be the paint that's getting warm and just literally like smearing there. This is a 80 course or 100 course, a sanding block is. Okay, that right there with the electric, that right there with the electric, that right, oh wow, that seam goes all the way down. Wow, that's a big buildup right there. Oh yeah, that needs to be. Okay, Baru, we are finally now done sanding this thing. Probably what, hour or two to get this all prepped up. I kind of partially prepped it up for a paint job, so that's why it took so long to sander. But now I got all the area, I'm finished wiping it down for all the loose dust. And I don't see no shiny, which means that's good for a paint job. You don't have to sand all your paint off, okay? But this area, you got all nice sanded. Now, we're gonna prep this really quick to show you on how you want to prep it before you put any form of epoxy on it, because if you don't do this, you've got a good chance of that epoxy peeling off while you're running on the water. And then you wouldn't even know it in your boat taking the water. But anyways, to prep the area up, to patch a hole, to get all that gunk and stuff off of there, you want to either use 91% isotope alcohol, or you want to use nail polish remover, which is 100% acetone. Now, make sure if you use the acetone, make sure it's not going to react to the plastic on whatever well hull you have. Usually it doesn't have a reaction to ABS, but if you have something that you don't know if it's not ABS, I suggest you use 91% isotope. This way you don't melt your hull. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I clean this really quick. We're going to use the acetone. You put some on your rag. Do this outside preferably, because this stuff upsets my stomach. So you wipe the area down, make sure it's nice and clean. And as you can tell, the acetone is taking the paint off. That is normal. You want that area a little sticky so the epoxy can really bond to it. Okay, that should be it right there. So now we're going to take it inside and we're going to mix some up epoxy and show you how I patch that hole. Okay folks, we're back inside. We're about ready to do some patchwork on this hole. I had to take some some styrofoam that's out of here, and what the styrofoam is for is just in case you have a hole in your hull and it would keep your boat from sinking to the bottom. So I had to take that out just so I can take this Gorilla, it's called Crystal Clear Gorilla Tape. It is waterproof submergible. So we're going to place this tape and put a piece on the inside of the boat to cover the hole on the inside. So then I'm going to mix some epoxy up, and then we'll be back and we'll show you how I put it on. Okay. All right. Okay guys, we're back here. My little tape idea didn't work. I can't get my hand on the inside of it, and I didn't bring my insect tweezers, which are long enough to fit in there. So I ripped out some styrofoam in there. That's supposed to help to keep the device to float, just in case you get a hole in it. I'm just going to replace it with some noodle foam, and that will have the same effect. But anyways, since the tape idea didn't work, I stuck some actual foam, which is from like a shipping package, and I stuffed it in that hole. I got some epoxy mixed up, and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut it directly even on top of that. So I'm going to come on the side here, get what excess it comes off. It looks like that's going to be good. I say that's even. Okay, so at this point, once you do that, yeah, that's going to work. It fits totally flush on that. You just take a glob of this, start putting it on. And don't be afraid to put a bunch of it on. I mean, you wanted to overlap it on here because you're trying to cover a hole, and you want to make sure that that area is strong. So once this stuff is dry, you can sand it. Just make sure you really glob it on there now. If you use all the stuff that you made, then do so. I have some wood kit boats out there that I'm going to probably do for some content for the winter, how to build them. And a lot of those, they do like, what do they call it, basswood or something that they use for the boats. But a lot of those guys that use those wooden boats, they actually cover them with like a fiberglass type tape, and then they put a thin layer of fiberglass over it, sand it down, paint it. Okay, I think we're done there. That's about as good as I'm going to get it. So, oh yeah, there was something else. I was going to fill these divots here to keep from having some, what's that, slow down your kit. Resistance. That's the word I'm looking for. So we're going to fill these in. And I already had them all prepped up. They're just ready for some epoxy. And then that's it. So we'll come back when this is all dry and everything. And I'll show you how I sand it down a little bit. And then we'll be back. Thank you. Okay, I got this all spread out, leveled it out. I just wanted to, I forgot to let you guys know. I'm using marine epoxy for my patch. And it's totally waterproof, submergible. I'm using a silicone cup to mix it and my stirrer. Now, I just wanted to tell you, if you do this, you can either use foil, a toothpick, whatever, popsicle stick, and throw the stuff away. In my case, I do some resin or other places. So you want to fill your cup up with a little bit of 91% isotope, and while the resin is still wet, you can literally wipe that stuff and clean your area up really nice. So keep that in mind if you accidentally spill it on your table. As long as you get it, keep it wet like that, just a little bit of alcohol, and it will clean right up for you. Alright, that's all I just wanted to say.